if it isn't weird to be talking into this microphone right now. Um, Quite interesting to say the least to be talking right now into this microphone. Um, so I just want to say, if you don't know who I am, if you're watching on YouTube, my name is Tori Langley. I make posts on here, or I have. Um, if we can get to 1,000 subscribers by tomorrow, I would absolutely love you guys. I didn't even realize we were that close, but yeah, if we can do that, I would absolutely love you guys. But yeah, my name's Tori Langley. If you're on the YouTube side of things, make sure to come over to this subreddit where I make posts. Unfortunately, I haven't been making posts for the past 3 weeks because I unfortunately had COVID. And I almost died. I'll explain some of that situation in a sec. I'll tell you how it was, tell you how everything went. But yeah, if you're on the YouTube side of things, I make posts on DFS Sports Reddit. I make posts for, excuse me, let me catch my breath. NFL. I make posts for NBA. I don't know if I will be doing NFL main slates for now. Not sure if I'll be doing just like NFL standalone games. So like tomorrow, I don't know if I'll have an NFL video for you guys tomorrow for the Thursday night game. But I will have NBA videos for you guys every day from here on out. Sorry if you've messaged me or responded to me. I apologize. I haven't gotten back to you, but I have read all of your messages, stuff like that. Um, I didn't even read this. Thank you, bud. Um, I didn't even see this. Thank you, bud. Um, so yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, my name's Shook. My name's Tori. From the YouTube side of things. Um, been making posts, been making NBA, NFL videos on this subreddit for a while now. You can ask me whatever you want. If you want in-depth premium content where I'll have player pools, in-depth videos going over each slate, player pools for cash, GPPs for NFL, NBA, etc., etc. I'll have a link to that down below, and then there will also be a link to that in the description to the posts that I do make on here. Um, so yeah, make sure to check that out. You can ask me whatever you want on here. If you ever need to get a hold of me, you can message me on Reddit. I'll be going through all your messages. I went through most of them. I'm pretty sure I replied to most of you, but I'll be going through the rest of those either tonight or tomorrow. I'll be looking at notifications as well. So if you ever need to get a hold of me, you can message me on Reddit. You can message me on Twitter as well at Tori Langley 1992. I did play some DFS in the hospital 2 days ago. I did win some money, so that's pretty cool. But we'll go over my lineup from tonight. I did play tonight. Um, so if you don't want to listen to this, you can just skip forward, skip ahead. But I'll explain what's been going on for the past month or so. So yeah, I woke up about a month ago. Skip ahead by all means if you don't want to hear this. It's going to be like a 5-10 minute explanation of basically just what's been going on. So please skip ahead if you don't want to hear this. But figured I'd explain what's going on. So about a month or so ago, my mom got COVID, and sorry that this is up, but um, I've had really bad health in the past. So whenever somebody does get sick, or if somebody is sick, I get it really, really bad. So I knew once my mom got COVID that it was going to be pretty bad if I got it. Unfortunately, I did end up getting COVID. So I tried to stick it out at home for like the first. I don't know. I went to the hospital 3.5 weeks ago. I was sick originally a week and a half prior to going to the hospital. So I would say over a month ago, I tried sticking it out at home. That clearly did not work or was not working. So I went to the ER. They originally declined me. I don't understand why. I went to the ER. I was not in good shape. I was pretty much dying, and they rejected me. They pretty much sent me home, and I don't understand it. The next day, I woke up and my oxygen levels were below 70, which is very, very bad. I woke up. You guys aren't gonna be happy hearing this, but um, I woke up pretty much like a mess. Like I was, going to the bathroom everywhere. I was, um, nauseous, just vomiting. So the next morning, I woke up with a below 70 degrees oxygen level, and I was just, I was going to the bathroom everywhere. Um, like I said, if you don't want to listen to this, just skip ahead. 5, 10 minutes, whatever. Um, so that's when I knew that I needed to get myself into the hospital. They're not going to reject me. So I went back to the hospital after they rejected me, and they put me in. It took me about 6 hours, 6 fucking hours to get admitted into the hospital. I sat in a COVID waiting room for 6 hours, dying, pretty much dying. Um, so I don't know if they were understaffed. I don't know what was going on, but that was one of the worst experiences I've ever experienced in my entire life. Um, Going into that, I didn't know what I was dealing with originally. So I thought I was just going to be there for like a couple days. Um, Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. I got a bed. I went up to ICU, and then I spent about 2.5 weeks to 3 weeks in ICU. Um, and everything was bad. I had to. They were going to consider surgery, but there wasn't anything coming up in my lungs to consider surgery. Usually with a thoracentesis, you have to have liquid in your lungs. I was dry. It was very, very much like a dry pneumonia. So that which is worse. So I was pretty much dying up there on my bed, with no way to recover without them. The only thing they could do is pretty much watch my oxygen levels and pretty much pray from there. So I almost died a few times up there. Um, I had some very, very, very down lows. Um, I think I spent 2.5 weeks in there before I even turned on my phone or even talked to the outside world. Um, some very, very down lows. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't even watch TV. I would just sleep 24 hours a day, pretty much. It was just very, very bad. I'll fast forward this up a little bit. But yeah, it's just been a rough month. Luckily, over the past week or so, I'd say probably past like 4 or 5 days or so, I've been getting better every day, pretty much. And I got some surprising news today that I would be going home. I definitely wasn't expecting that, so now I am home. I will be having NBA videos for you guys every night from here on out, assuming I stay healthy. Um, and then, like I said, not sure I'm gonna have 2 videos a day, but I will have NFL main slate videos as well. But I don't know if I'm probably not going to be doing NFL standalone videos for a little bit. I think doing more than one video a day for you guys, plus on top of the content for Patreon, is just going to be a little bit too much for me right now. So for right now, we'll just do the NBA videos. We'll do NFL main slate videos for you guys as well, and then I'll do the extra in-depth content for Patreon and stuff like that. I think that's a good place to start, and then we'll slowly start graduating into going into more stuff as I start getting better over the next couple days to a week or so. But yeah, let's go. see what I've been up to for the past couple days. So I did play today, and I did play yesterday, 2 days ago. I won't show you my lineup from the other day. There's really no point, but I just played for fun. So I had a good day the first day. This is like my first day awake back, so I had a good day there. Today is just a wash. Going really really bad for me today. The core that I had today, I did have a core and a player pool out today. I didn't have an in-depth video, but the core that I did have today for everyone here was Drew Eubanks, Darius Garland, Bobby Portis, and Cameron Payne. 3 out of 4 hit there, and then just some other variants in my lineup, like Terry Rozier lost minutes, Keldon Johnson, that game went into OT, so I can't complain there. Bobby Portis was terrible against this OKC front court. I don't understand that. Miles Turner got into absolutely massive foul trouble. Darius Garland's having a terrible first half up against Sacramento. Julius Randle, massive blow against the New York Knicks. He was absolutely smashing too, so just unfortunate. And then Drew Eubanks was a must. Now, I originally did have Javon Carter and Drew Eubanks both, and I was going to have both core, but I didn't like any of the spend ups a lot. Like, I wasn't in love with the spend ups tonight, so I didn't play both, and I picked between one. Obviously, I picked Drew Eubanks, which wasn't the right decision in the long run, but Javon Carter also isn't going to go for 70 fantasy points every game. So I feel like, I might have made a mistake here with Eubanks. I probably should have just went with the lower owned guy, but in retrospect, I can't really change anything. I feel like I'm happy with the decisions that I made for my lineup tonight. And let's go over this 4-game NBA slate for tomorrow. Dallas at Washington. Excuse me, guys, if I'm going to make this quick. I don't know how easy it's going to be for me to talk through this after just talking that much, but I will try my best for you guys. Dallas at Washington. I forgot I'm back on my PC. I can pull all this up. Let's do this. I'm sure they have that figured out. So Dallas at Washington. The Washington Wizards. I don't even know. Like, this is the first time I'm looking at an NBA slate in like a month. So I don't even know half the news out there. But Wizards 27th in pace. And so I don't even know defensive rating. I don't know pace. This is so bear with me while I don't have the muscle memory of who's playing fast and slow. I assume Washington plays slow. 22nd in defensive rating. So Luka Doncic at the top, 12.5K. Christian Wood's going to be out. If you have the salary for Luka at 12.5K, I mean, I think he stands out as one of the best plays on the slate. The only concern right now is there isn't a lot of value to get him in. There is some news up in the air right now, but as it stands right now, there definitely isn't a lot of value. I can definitely tell you that right now. So it's going to be interesting to see if you have the money to spend up for Luka. If you do, I definitely suggest getting Luka in your lineup right now. He's on another level right now. No other spend up in basketball is really putting up the numbers that he is. He's playing huge minutes game right now. No Christian Wood, so him and Dinwiddie are just going to absolutely dominate the usage here for this team. I absolutely love Luka if you can afford him, and I think Dinwiddie is a pretty good play at 6.2K as well. I want to pull up the stats from last game with no Christian Wood. That was earlier today. Spencer Dinwiddie played 40 minutes, went for 29, 5, and 4. Now, if we're going to expect 38 minutes again from Spencer Dinwiddie at 6.2K, I think the price is just too cheap. I think it's just too cheap. I think with him and Luka dominating the usage with no Christian Wood, Christian Wood's going to be a pretty high usage guy. With him out of the offense and just him and Luka just dominating the usage, playing all the minutes they can handle, I think both look very, very good. I think Dinwiddie looks pretty good at 6.2K as well. I think people might overlook him, and I think that definitely could be a mistake on the slate. So I really do like Dinwiddie at 6.2K. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to fit both in with how expensive. Well, Dinwiddie's not expensive, but with how expensive Luka is, you might have to pick one. But if you can play both, I definitely do suggest playing both. I think both look very, very good on this slate. Now they started. Who did they start center? Where is? Um, they started JaVale McGee at center, and they played Dwight Powell. Played 22 minutes. So JaVale McGee only played 11 minutes at 4.5K. I don't think I can get to him at that price. Dwight Powell is 5.1K. Dwight Powell is a guy that needs the minutes to kind of get there at that price tag, so I don't really have much interest in both of these centers for Dallas. The one guy I definitely do have interest in for big for Dallas is Maxi Kleber at 3.4K. Kleber actually played. He played 30 minutes. He did play all of the fourth. Um, which I'd expect that to happen again. I don't expect Dallas to close with McGee or Tim Hardaway Jr., so I'd expect Kleber to definitely be out there to close the fourth. So if we're gonna get 30 minutes of Max Kleber at 3.4K, I think he's definitely a solid value. He's not gonna be like a super high usage guy, but he's not gonna also be a guy that just like stands in the corner, right? He's a guy that can get rebounds. He's a guy that can shoot the ball. He's not gonna be super productive, but he'll at least be productive at that price tag at 3.4K. Playing around 30 minutes. Slate doesn't have a lot of value on it as well, so I think Kleber is definitely a solid value on this slate. Outside of that, I don't really think there's much else. Like Josh Green played 26 minutes, but I don't think we can really go there. Just gonna have to just the rest is gonna be a wait and see approach for me. I'll make updates in the Discord for that. Um, but yeah, mainly looking to Kleber, Dinwiddie, and Luka there for Dallas and Mavericks. Last in pace and ninth in defensive rating. So Bradley Beal is going to be out. So, they're kind of priced up. When Bradley Beal, I believe Bradley Beal was out last game, up against Charlotte. I believe was it Charlotte? I forget who it was, but pretty sure Beal was out. Let me just take a look. He was. So, Porzingis at 8.5K, it's a good matchup up against Dallas. We definitely do target bigs against Dallas. My only issue is he might be a little bit overowned, and I think he might be a little bit too pricey. Now, I think he's a solid play even at 8.5K. This is gonna be an ownership thing for me. I know you guys hear me say this a lot. Like, if nobody is going to play Porzingis because he's 8.5K, then I'm gonna be all over him. It's a good matchup, right? Dallas definitely does play like these two teams definitely play slow, but as far as like a one-on-one matchup for Kristaps Porzingis, I like every spot for him. So individual matchup for Porzingis, I definitely do like a lot. Pricing is going to be interesting to me. Like if people are going to fade because he's 8.5K, then I'm gonna have a lot of interest in Porzingis for GPPs. Because if Porzingis is going to be like 10-ish% on a what is this 4 or 5 game slate, with no Bradley Beal at 8.5K, then I'm gonna like Porzingis a lot for tournaments. Now, if this wasn't, if this had nothing to do with ownership, and I wasn't talking about anything, I would say Porzingis might be a little bit overpriced or priced about right. But Porzingis does have that upside, and it is a revenge game narrative if you're into that. Plus the matchup against Dallas, just this is a recipe for Porzingis to cook individually. So I definitely do have interest in Porzingis for GPPs. Kyle Kuzma is priced about right for me. Monte Morris, 5.4K. He played. How much did he play? He played 26 minutes. He played 32 minutes. He's just there for me. I'm fine with him. 5.4K does seem priced appropriately for me though. Goodwin, 4.7K has been played extremely, extremely well. Just pump the brakes a little bit. Last year he was really, really good when given opportunity, but he's not going to keep shooting, 80% from the field. So it's like he's playable, but pump the brakes there a little bit with Goodwin. The only other guy I really have consideration in is Will Barton at 4.1K. He played 27 minutes last game with no Bradley Beal. Will Barton's not a terrible point per minute guy either. So I think Will Barton's actually solid value for the slate. I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's good. I think it's solid. So I do like Barton for value. Outside of that, though, I don't really think there is much else that stands out to me. All right, I'm going to start to hurry this up a little bit. I feel like I'm taking forever here. Alrighty. Miami 23rd in pace. And they've been bad defensively this year. What's going on? 17th in defensive. They probably have had injuries. Tough matchup here for Charlotte. LaMelo Ball, Gordon Hayward, Cody Martin going to continue to be out here. Not much stands out to me. Like, everyone seems priced appropriately. I mean, Terry Rozier, 8.6K, seems priced about right. But with no LaMelo Ball, no Gordon Hayward, he's going to dominate the usage. He's going to be the one taking a bunch of shots. He's going to have a ton of assist opportunities as well. He's there for me. He's fine. Just a GPP play. Kelly Oubre at 6.4K, same thing. He's more of the boomer bust play between the two of them. Probably has a higher ceiling, but a much, much lower floor. They're both just GPP plays for me. Dennis Smith Jr. is going to start. He probably plays around, 30 to 35 minutes. Price about right. I don't really know what else to say there. PJ Washington, 5.8K, really tough spot. Probably plays around 30 minutes as well. Just there for me. Priced about right. I think Mason Plumlee is interesting. I think they're going to need him there outside. I think they're going to need him out there against Bam. So I think his minutes could definitely be a little bit more secure than usual. I think he'll at least play 20 to 25 minutes in this game. And if he plays over 30, even better. But they have shown to go to Nick Richards over Mason Plumlee down the stretch. So there is definitely risk with Mason Plumlee. Definitely a risky option. But thought I'd mention him. That him and how much did he play? Him and Richards are kind of splitting the center minutes right now. I'll just show you what they did tonight. I can show you. Nick Richards played 15, and Mason Plumlee played 32. Okay, that's a good sign. So, I will say this: if I knew we were going to get 30 plus minutes from Plumlee, even in a tough spot up against Bam, I think he's fine value. But there is risk with him. There is risk. They have shown to want to go to Nick Richards. Nick Richards has closed in the past as well. That being said, if you want a GPP play, I don't hate Nick Richards, especially if you think Mason Plumlee could get into possible foul trouble. And then only other really guy I have interest in off the bench is James Bouknight, who will probably play around 15 to 20 minutes. He'll be pretty productive when he's on the court, but just a dart for me. Fine play, 3.2K. And let's go to Charlotte. So, Charlotte, 17th in pace. And 15th in defensive rating. These numbers don't feel right. I'm sorry. So, got some pretty big news here. Tyler Hero is questionable. Caleb Martin is questionable. If they are both in, it is a really good spot. I obviously like Bam at 7.9K. You guys know, as per usual, I like centers going up against Charlotte. That's not going to change here. So I do like Bam quite a bit, even if they're both in. Tyler Hero himself, with everyone else healthy as well, I'm probably not going to get to anyone else. I don't really think anything else stands out to me too much. So we're going to have to monitor the situation. So just make sure you're either in Discord or on Reddit. Now, if they're both out, that's where it gets interesting. So I think Butler's fine. I think Bam would look even better. I think Kyle Lowry at 6.9K would actually be a solid option as well. He's just going to be secured for just massive minutes. And he has a pretty high floor. He does have a ceiling if his teammates are hitting a shot. Really, really good matchup there. Definitely is blowout risk, but I think Kyle Lowry would be solid. Strus, he'll probably have to play huge minutes at 5.6K. I don't hate it. Wish he was a little bit cheaper, though. And then we're going to have to monitor who starts. Obviously, they would have to, if Caleb Martin, Tyler Hero are out, they're going to have to figure out. I'd assume Strus obviously starts, and then we're going to have to figure out who they start. Who else they start? Could be Duncan Robinson. But the likes of Gabe Vincent, Duncan Robinson, Highsmith, if Caleb Martin's out, are going to get extra run and could be potential good value plays depending on the starting lineup. So we're going to just have to wait and see and monitor that situation for Miami. Philly at Atlanta. Seventh in pace, the Atlanta Hawks are, and 18th in defensive rating. So James Harden's going to be out. I think Joel Embiid, if you are going to not spend up for Luka, I think makes for my second favorite spend up on the slate. No James Harden, he's just gonna have to do a lot more. I know he hasn't looked good this season, but I like the spot here against Atlanta. Um, he did pretty well up against Phoenix last game. He wasn't torching them. I actually watched the game. It looked like he was torching them, but when I saw he only went for 55 fantasy points, I was kind of surprised. But he's gonna play huge minutes. Played 37. I was surprised he played 37 last game after coming back. But if we're gonna get 37 minutes of Joel Embiid with no James Harden, yeah, obviously, I think he looks really good as a spend up. No James Harden, so Tyrese Maxey is going to be the clear number 2 on this team. 8.2K, just there for me. Does have a ceiling, does have upside. Going to play huge minutes. I'm fine with it. The main thing with these Philly guys, they're running such a tight rotation right now with no James Harden. We know where the production is going to come from. Like Embiid, Maxey, Harris, Melton, um, PJ Tucker are all going to play huge minutes. So it's really hard to get to anyone off the bench outside of like a Georges Niang who could possibly play 15 to 20 minutes, and if he's hitting his shots like he did last game, could get extended. So really for the Sixers, I'm mainly looking to the main guys here. I think Joel Embiid definitely my favorite. Tobias Harris has been playing pretty well of late, playing huge minutes as well. I don't hate it. And then Melton at 6K, probably going to play around 30, 35 minutes. He's fine. Just wish he was a little bit cheaper in my opinion. Paul Reed played the backup 5 last game. I have no idea if they're going to do that again. So if you want to risk a GPP play, I don't hate it. I will say last year when they played Atlanta, Paul Reed did play the backup 5. So if that's something, if that is any indication of what they're going to do based off last year, then yeah, you can definitely take a shot on Paul Reed. Um, what else? PJ Tucker, 3.7K. We know we're going to get from him. We're probably going to get around 30 minutes. We're going to give guys, going to give you a few rebounds. Can stay in the corner, shoot corner threes. I don't hate it. It's a fine option for value. And then I don't really think I can get to anyone else on the Sixers. Let's get to. I feel like I already went over Atlanta, but whatever. Trey Murray, just GPP plays for me. Not much else to say. Like I'd much rather go to Luka. Much rather go to Embiid. Now, I was surprised Trae Young did play since today was the front end of a back-to-back. So I think there could be a chance he rests tomorrow. I thought there was a better chance of him resting tomorrow instead of today. I don't know why he played today. But assuming he plays, yeah, not much stands out to me for Atlanta. Like Trey Murray, GPP plays for me. John Collins, 6.3K, just fine option. Priced about right. Capella, same thing. Hunter, 4.9K. Guy that's probably going to play over 30 minutes. Fine option. Okongwu, he'll probably play 15 to 20 minutes. I actually think Okongwu is a solid value play. Especially if you think like Collins or Capella could get into foul trouble up against Embiid. So I actually do have quite a bit of interest in Okongwu actually after thinking a little bit more about that. So solid value in my opinion. And then Holiday, these guys, I don't think we really need to go there. I forgot to go over a value play. I forgot to go over a couple value plays on Dallas actually. So Dorian Finney-Smith at 4.2K, gonna play huge minutes. I don't hate it. Tim Hardaway Jr. has been losing minutes of late, so just a GPP play for me. Reggie Bullock's been losing minutes, so a little bit hard for me to get there. I'd much rather just go to Dorian Finney-Smith. And then, like I said, Maxi Kleber, definitely my favorite option for value on Dallas. And then let's go over this last game so I can get out of here, so I can get out of your head. In your head, zombie. Blazers. Let's pull the Pelicans. Sorry. All right. Portland at the Pelicans. We'll go over Portland or Pelicans last. Let's see. Where are the Pelicans? Pelicans 16th in pace and 13th in defensive rating. So, um, yeah, I mean, so no, I want to go over Portland first. Sorry. So not much stands out to me. We're gonna have to monitor Nurk Grant news. They were obviously out tonight. We'll take a look at that game. So Josh Hart played 35 minutes. Justice Winslow played 26. Drew Eubanks played 22. Damian Lillard played 36. Everett Simons played 33. Shaden Sharp played 29. Trendon Watford played 26. Jabari Walker played 18. Nasir Little played 15. So we're on a pretty tight rotation here against the Hornets tonight with no Nurk or Grant. So we're gonna have to monitor this news. I don't know if they are already ruled out or not. If they are in, then not much stands. Like this slate is so bad, it's disgusting. So if they're in, not much stands out to me. Like Dame, you guys always know I like Dame for GPPs. Simon's definitely overpriced if they're in. Josh Hart's overpriced if they're in. I don't understand that price on Watford. Winslow would be out of play if they're in. So if they're in, not much stands out to me. But if they're out, then yeah, you can look at Dame, you can look at the Simons. I think both are good GPP plays. Hart at 6.5K would be fine. Drew Eubanks at 4.3K would be a very, very good value play. He would probably be one of the better value plays on the slate if they are out. Shaden Sharp would be fine. Justice Winslow, I would like quite a bit as a bounce back candidate. Justice Winslow is actually a pretty good point per minute guy. Him going for 6-2 and 2 in 26 minutes is definitely a bit of an outlier. I thought Justice Winslow was actually a really good GPP play today, so I would really like Justice Winslow as a bounce back candidate if those two guys are out. And then, how much did where is he? Watford played 26 minutes, so yeah, I'd rather just go to Drew Eubanks for cheaper. So yeah, gonna have to monitor the news, and then let's go over the Pelicans. So good match here for the Pelicans. Portland is 28th in pace. That's surprising. Let's find it later. Sorry guys, it's gonna take me a while to do this stuff until I get back acclimated back into things. But Larry Nance Jr. is out, so let's take a look at what they did tonight with the minutes. So Jonas Valanciunas played 30 minutes. That's really good to see. Brandon Ingram 33, CJ 35. I want to see what else they did. Zion 31, Herb Jones 28, Najee 22, Trey Murphy 20. So if we're gonna get 30 plus minutes of Jonas Valanciunas up against Portland in a really, really good spot, no matter if Nurkic is in or out, at 7K, it's just too cheap. So I really like Jonas Valanciunas with Nance out. We all know we're gonna get trolled, and he's only gonna play around 20 minutes though. But assuming we get 30 plus minutes again at Jonas Valanciunas at 7K, I do really like him a lot. Zion, Ingram, CD are just there for me. So Jonas Valanciunas is probably my favorite play from the main four guys. Trey Murphy, fine option. Herb Jones, fine option. Like they're both going to play minutes. Both are going to be pretty low usage guys when they're out there on the court. They're just basically the same as those value plays that I said were there earlier. And then nothing else really for me. So sorry this video was long. Sorry that my NBA knowledge has been taken away from me for the past month. So it was kind of a struggle bus for me to go over this 4-game slate. So I don't know what I'm going to do when a bigger slate approaches. So that was definitely a struggle, just going over these 4 games. But hopefully I'll get better over time, and I will, be more fluent, because that felt really, really bad. But yeah, I will talk to you guys hopefully tomorrow. I'll be around to answer you guys' questions on Reddit. If not, I'll let you guys know. We'll see how I'm feeling. And yeah, I will talk to you guys tomorrow.